One person you don't want to screw with is your babysitter. Y'all grab your coffee and we're going to share the tea. We are back for episode 3 of Elizabeth Teckenbrock. But today we're not talking about what she did to her ex-husband. We're talking about what she did to her babysitter. But 6 pages of what she did to her babysitter. Y'all, this woman scams every and anybody in her way. She is like a hurricane. Hurricane Liz is what we're going to call her. If you guys don't remember, Hurricane Liz is the cupcake mom that went viral on her own birthday last year on TikTok for baking her own cupcakes. And then her ex-husband came to the internet to share all the scam things she did. There is nobody that is off limits for Liz to scam. And I want to give you a little quick backstory. A lot of it was happening during 2020, so things were a little bit different. And Liz was a stay-at-home mom who needed a babysitter 24 hours a day because she didn't want to be around her own kids. Can't scream alienation, Liz, when you are alienating yourself from your kids. But let's get into all the scam things that she did to her babysitter and how she manipulates people with her fake cancer, her losing twins, her this, her that. Oh, poor me, poor me. All to get out of paying people back the money she owes them. Let's get into it. Page 1. All right, so Madison, the babysitter, and Liz got hooked up together back around 2019 because Madison's mom used to bake cakes for Liz. Well, later down the line, you'll find out that Madison's mom also said that it was hard getting money out of Liz. Is there anybody that Liz doesn't scam? I'm just wondering. Rhetorical question, probably. The answer is probably no. Anyways, so Madison became the weekend babysitter. 2020 happens. They really don't need a babysitter anymore. So Andrew thinks that Liz and Madison have cut contact. No harm, no foul. None of us could do anything about that situation. Well, Liz and Maddie had been in contact that whole time. So Maddie starts babysitting for them when Andrew goes back to work. All this is going on. Andrew and Maddie don't talk about money at all because Andrew was under the assumption, hey, I have a stay-at-home wife. I am not paying a babysitter so my wife can go out with her boyfriend all day. I'm just not doing it, which I totally understand. I wouldn't want to pay a babysitter when I have an able-bodied spouse who's their mother to watch the kids. Not only was Maddie watching the kids during the day when Andrew was at work and Liz was out, running around town, getting her hair done, hanging out with her new boyfriends, doing whatever the hell she wanted to do other than being a mother. As soon as Andrew would come home and relieve Madison, Liz would go out more and Madison would go somewhere else and watch Liz's other 2 kids. So 24 hours a day, Madison is babysitting and not getting paid. Now, Madison states that a lot of times it was hard for her to get money out of Liz, which is no freaking surprise at this point, looking at it in real time. Liz would use things like, I was pregnant with twins. I lost one of the twins. Madison was pretty much working for free for a while. Kept asking Liz for her money and Liz would throw up the babies in her face, and she was never pregnant with twins to begin with, but would manipulate her saying, we're grieving, we're having a hard time, this financially hurt us. And Madison, who cared about the kids she was taking care of, who cared about this family, who thought they were grieving, kind of just let things go for a little while, and then her car broke down. Liz says, I'll get you a brand new car. Long story short, drives off the lot with a Kia. And Liz doesn't have credit. Liz doesn't have money to put down on a car. 3 days later, that car was repoed from Madison. After the Kia fell through, Madison found another car. Well, that car ended up falling through. While this car situation is happening, Madison starts getting a couple checks from Liz, and she thinks she's being paid. Well, guess what? These checks were rubber. They bounce like a mother, okay? 3 of them, to be exact. Maddie was out, at one point, $12,000 from Liz. Now, when you're a babysitter, you fall in love with the families you babysit, typically. You fall in love with the kids, part of the family. Maddie really thought that she was helping this grieving family. Anytime Maddie would ask for money, it would be, oh, my cancer treatments are getting out of control. We can't afford it. I lost that baby. You remember, I told you about that. And a lot of manipulation so that Maddie would feel guilty asking for her money that she worked for. So at one point, Madison quits babysitting because she's not getting any more money. Maddie has no car at this point. She hasn't been paid from Liz. She's out of money. And Liz says, I can get you this job at the hospital with my grandma. Well, long story short, Liz sends over these applications that Maddie's filling out, these essays for this job, because she's got to be, savvy on the terminology for the job. Maddie goes and buys scrubs for this job because Liz is promising her, you've got it. Maddie Ubers everywhere she's got to go because Maddie doesn't have a car. So Maddie is spending money that she doesn't have to try to get this job. Maddie shows up at the hospital and, well, no job ever existed. Liz says miscommunication, sends her back a week later. This happened 3 or 4 times. There was another job. She knew somebody at the post office. She was going to get Maddie a job at the post office. Never happened. All running her around for nothing. For nothing. Like, why? Why would you run somebody around like this? I even offer a job knowing damn well that the job doesn't exist. So around 2021, Liz and Andrew end up having to move in with Liz's grandparents because this is the 6th or 7th place that Liz has gotten them either kicked out of or moved from in 3 years. Liz had kept in contact with Maddie, and occasionally Maddie would ask for her money. And at one point, Liz gave Maddie an American Express card, and you guessed it, it was maxed out. So every time Maddie would go to the grocery store, fill up the cart full of groceries and try to, at least recoup some of the money, she'd get turned down at the register. The card would decline because Liz is notorious for not having any money, but sure spends a lot and racks it up, but doesn't know how to pay it. So Maddie still isn't paid. Maddie still doesn't have a car. Maddie still can't pay her bills. Liz comes to Maddie one day and says, hey, I've got a friend that's in a DV situation and she needs to sell her car. And Liz says, you can't talk to my friend. You can only communicate through me. Maddie thinks it's a great idea. Despite all the other car scams, Maddie really didn't get her hopes up, but she thought, hey, maybe this is the one. Maddie ends up meeting up with Liz and getting this garage door opener from Liz. And Maddie and her boyfriend are driving around clicking this garage door opener, and not one of them opened. Maddie contacts Liz. Liz says, oh, another miscommunication. It's at a body shop. Oh, another day they go to a body shop. Hey, Liz, this car isn't here. What am I supposed to do? Miscommunication again. Body shop is not the right one. We gotta go to another one. So Maddie finally gives up. Liz has given her the runaround. Liz has sent her on wild goose chases, wild goose jobs, post office, hospitals, made her, Uber around, buy scrubs, do all this other stuff, get in a car thinking that she's really got this car, gets repoed, second car, not available, third car, not even, none of these situations are real. None of them. Another scam, Liz says, look, I know I owe you money. I'm going to give you $6,000, and my cousin, who's a police officer in Tampa, also has a car for you. So wham, bam, one and done. Maddie is getting her money that she is owed, and she is getting a vehicle. Liz did not want to be the one to have to meet Maddie with this $6,000. So she says, you're going to meet my uncle, and he's going to give you the car, and the money's going to be in the glove box. Well, right before Maddie goes, guess what? Something tragic happens. Something tragic. Liz's grandma, who was holding on to the money, her son, turns out he stole the money. So screw you, Maddie. Grandma's son's got that money. All the while, Maddie pretty much knew that that car never existed. So against Maddie's better judgment, Maddie eventually comes back to work for the family. Why she did that, the only thing I can guess is that she really cared for these kids. And Liz's manipulations are that good, y'all. And when I say that good, I mean she's that slimy. Make people believe that Liz is innocent in all this. It was everybody else's fault besides Liz. Everybody's. So Maddie comes back to babysit for the family yet again, and it kind of happened because Andrew had a convention that he was going to, and Liz didn't want to watch her own kids. So Liz told Maddie that this was going to be a test. This is a test, so you can come back to babysit for us full time. Andrew doesn't really like you. Manipulation, separating people, talking bad about people to, divide them so they can't talk and get to the bottom of things. True narcissistic fashion, if you will. Not qualified to diagnose anybody. Maddie is paid at this point ahead of time because she's like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not babysitting nothing until you pay me ahead of time. So Maddie would get a few cash apps here and there. She did get paid ahead of time a few times. While all this is going on, Andrew and Maddie don't talk about money at all. Him and Maddie didn't even know that they were getting scammed at the same exact time. So long story short, Maddie still doesn't have a vehicle, and it's making it hard for Liz to go out and see her boyfriends and get her hair done all day. So Liz decides, hey, I'm going to get this van. Maddie, over the next 6 weeks, you can work that off. So Maddie says, okay, we'll do it. Well, Maddie works for the 6 weeks, and then it's time for her to start getting paid again. Well, Liz says, you didn't prove yourself. You didn't work hard enough. Andrew doesn't like you. Andrew doesn't want me to pay you. So Maddie ended up not getting paid again. So the final draw, Liz fires Maddie. You want to know why? Maddie was getting married, and Liz was upset because Liz couldn't find coverage to watch her kids the day Maddie got married. So Liz got upset with Maddie for getting married. I'm surprised Liz didn't drop the freaking kids off at the damn reception and go out with her boyfriend. Liz is the center of Liz's whole world. Not her kids, not her spouse, not her babysitters, not her friends, not anybody. Liz is the center of Liz's world. Liz says that Maddie was fired because Maddie didn't finish paying off the loan for the van, which wasn't true because Maddie worked the full 6 weeks like she was told she needed to do. The wedding was what set Liz over the edge. Anyways, I want to know your thoughts. Have you been in a similar situation? Have you scammed people out of a lot of money? I'm sure you won't admit it in the comments, show of hand, but I don't know how somebody does this. I really don't know how somebody does this to another individual, let alone multiple individuals at the same time, and how you keep all this going. It is literally, it has to be a full-time job. I don't. Stay tuned for the next part because I will update you guys. I'll meet you in the comments if you like videos like these. Make sure you give me a like, a share, a follow. Follow me on all my other socials. Website in bio. Have the day you deserve, and I'll meet you in the comments. If no one's told you today, love you, bye.